Hey guys, I'm not gonna lie. I actually just recorded 30 full minutes and I absolutely hated it and I trashed it. Welcome to Many Mistakes Go. Let's get into today's episode of Signs You're Ready for a Change. This is actually a really good episode for me to be at right now because I feel like I'm on the cusp of change. It's just like an episode that like hits different for me right now. So, some signs that you are ready for a change, you're going to notice that life feels different. You might feel like you're at a standstill. Maybe life feels stagnant. You feel stuck. You feel like you can't move anywhere. You could also feel like you're moving, but you're like on autopilot. So maybe you're not like living your best life. You're not really enjoying it. You're like working your job, going home, like going through the motions, doing your dishes, doing your chores, your laundry, and like nothing feels different. Nothing feels like it's changing, right? That is like the number one sign is feeling stuck or feeling stagnant. Another sign that you might be ready for a change is questioning your life and where you're at and your life choices. So, for example, in December, before I separated from my job, as many of you know, I'm not currently working. I have a new job that I'm literally starting on Wednesday. January 31st. So I'm actually recording this a week before this episode is supposed to come out, which it's a whole other thing. I prefer it that way because I like to have enough episodes to keep me going. That way, like if I'm sick, like I have been for the past month, if I really can't record for like a full week, like it's not a big deal. But in December, when I separated from my job, I felt so defeated. But before when I was still working that job, I felt so miserable. I felt like I was going through the motions. I felt completely drained. I absolutely hated my job. I hated working there. I literally just could not take it. I was literally there for the paycheck and I was doing the best that I could, but I had no more passion. It wasn't the same from when I first started. Because when I first started, I was like trying to beat certain numbers, trying to like have the best productivity, like really get myself in the door. And it slowly just scaled back to like depression, just feeling like so drained and defeated every single day. I literally went on vacation. In the first couple of days that I came back from the vacation, I had a little pep in my step, but it completely went back again to normal. Like I felt just drained, defeated. I hated it. I was questioning my entire life, all of my life choices. I was questioning where I was at. I was like, is this really it? Like, this cannot be the rest of my life. Like, I was so miserable. And like that should tell you like you are not working in the field that you need to be working in. You are not having fun. You're not using your full potential. You're not happy. And ever since, I literally feel so much better. And we're going to get into that, but like I just feel like a huge part of me realizing that I was ready for a change was when I no longer worked for that job. Yes, it was a struggle. I started looking for jobs because I was like, I can't live without a paycheck. Like, I need a paycheck. But then I literally, kid you not, jumped into vlogging, jumped into podcasting again. Now I literally podcast and have a podcast come out every single week. Granted, yes, I did record a lot so that I had some build up for when I went to go visit my parents in Connecticut. But I kid you not, like I genuinely am excited. I get to record for you guys. I get to share my knowledge when I read a book, when I listen to somebody else's podcast. Like I get to share information with you guys that I've learned. And you guys are literally watching me learn and grow. Like, and you guys might be learning something too. Like, that's the whole point of this podcast, is like, I'm learning and growing, but I also want to like give you guys advice in any way that I can. And I feel like I've grown and learned so much, and I hope you guys are too. Like, I hope genuinely that you guys are like listening to this podcast and you're like, oh my God, wow, like this really resonates with me, or like I feel less alone, or I learned something new. Like, it's really cool to actually consume content and feel lighter after consuming it, like feeling like you've learned something, feeling like you're not so alone, like feeling just lighter. um so like that was a huge thing after like me and this job just didn't work out. Like, I literally like threw myself into content creation, and like I'm so happy. Like, I don't have a job in content creation right now. I would love, 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 love if I actually made money off of like vlogging and podcasting and like was able to just make that a full-time job. Like, I would be on the moon. But I know that that takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I plan on like busting my butt in this, because this is actually something that makes me happy and something that I know that I'm good at. I know that I love to learn new things and share with you guys. I love to feel creative. So when I'm editing the vlogs, editing the podcasts, when I get to like do the screen and stuff like that, the thumbnails, all of it, like it's creative, and I love being able to be logical and creative in one thing. Um, so like it's just super exciting because I no longer feel like I'm questioning my life and where I'm at. I'm like excited for the future. That's another sign, actually, the opposite of that, being excited for the future. But how about feeling constantly dissatisfied? Feeling like nothing's ever good enough, and you're searching for more, searching for better. So that is actually another sign that you're ready for a change. You feel like nothing is going right. You feel depressed. You feel like you're never satisfied with anything. Nothing's good enough. Nothing is quite quenching your thirst, so to speak. Nothing is catching your appetite. Nothing is feeding your appetite, I should say. Um, and you're constantly searching for more and searching for better. Granted, you could think of me being that way, but I would like to argue that I'm on the cusp of change, because I've found better. I'm just working at it, if that makes sense. So like currently, I know that like working in content creation really makes me happy and is something I enjoy. I'm no longer searching for that happiness. I know it's there and I have it, and I'm actively doing it. It's the consistency of continuing to post, continuing to record podcasts, continuing to make vlogs that is going to take effort, yes, but like that's the only way you're going to get it done. You're never going to be able to have something good just come to you if you don't put in a little bit of work or a little bit of effort. Yes, like people win the lottery, people win jackpots on like gambling and stuff like that. That does happen, yes, but like you're not going to win if you don't play, right? That's kind of the same mindset that I have with like vlogging, podcasting. Like, I can't have people love my content or enjoy my content if I don't put it out there. If I don't share myself, you guys aren't going to know who I am if I don't share myself. It's the whole point, right? So I guess that's kind of like how I look at it. And again, I feel like I'm at a point where like I know that this is what makes me happy, and I'm so satisfied with life currently that like I just have to keep pushing and keep inching forward until I get that moment of like, I don't have to work at a 9 to 5 job because like social media and content creation, like I make enough money in that, you know? Again, I'm being totally blunt, totally honest with you guys. I don't make money in content creation. I do it for fun. I would love to be able to make a living off of it and just share with you guys and learn and grow and continue this. But I know that it takes time. But I'm not searching for better. I have better and I'm working at better. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I say things and I'm like, does that make any sense? Like, I feel like my brain just is like a bunch of jumbles. I don't know if any of y'all feel that way, but my brain is a bunch of jumbles. And I'm like trying to like pull the cord so it can come into like a straight line. And like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Another sign that you're ready for change is having trouble relating to the people in your life and possibly outgrowing them. So I find this interesting because I told y'all when I first moved here, like who my friends were, stuff like that, right? Granted, some of those people are still my friends, but there's actually some people that I'm no longer friends with. And granted, I wish them the best. Like, there's no hard feelings, but like, we outgrew each other. Our lives didn't mesh well, they didn't fit. And I realized, like, this is not the type of friend that I like feel meshed with. This is not the type of friend that I am looking for in a future friend. Like, this is maybe a now type of friend or a past type of friend. Like, it is so hard to make friends. Like, genuinely the hardest thing. Like, I think I'm just on Bumble BFF at this point. But, like, even that is so draining. Like, I met this one girl and I was so excited because I felt so in tune, in touch with her. She never responded. And I was like, I sent this long message of like, just like us getting along and like responding to her, right? Like it was like a good message. It wasn't like a bad message. And we were just relating to each other. We were building a rapport. It was great. And then just out of nowhere, I was like, oh, okay, like this sucks. Like I know some of y'all feel that way. I know some of y'all are out there that you're like, yep, I've had that happen to me with either a future friend or like a potential partner. Like it sucks. And you want so badly to make friends that fit your life and fit your lifestyle. And I've come to realize like my friends back home in Connecticut are my friends. Like those are my people. And granted, I don't talk to them every day. Sometimes I don't even talk to them every week. Like the month of January, I've been so sick. So like I haven't been like reaching out or talking to people or responding as much. I'm trying my best. And like that's all that anyone could ever hope for. Like we all try our best. My point is I feel so connected to the people that I met in Connecticut and I'm struggling to meet people in San Antonio still to this day. Um Granted I could make better effort. Let me say this actually. So, having trouble relating to the people in your life and outgrowing them, if you feel like the people in your life do not fit you currently, it's important to figure that out and communicate that. Or, you know, if you guys haven't talked in a while, like if you just like unfollow them, like it does kind of hurt. Like I've been on the receiving end of it of just like complete like unfollow, like unfriend, and like it does hurt, but like at the same time the people that have done that, like I realize like it's okay and I can see that like we just grew apart. Like it's not personal and I don't take it personal. It just also things can hurt sometimes and like it's something that I brush off. It's not something that I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she did that." Like no, like it's just like, "Damn, like you know, I noticed that we were drifting apart, but I didn't realize like it was like, you know, to that level of like you don't want to follow me or be my friend on like social media, you know. Like I still wanted to like see your life and root you on and all that jazz. But like sometimes it does happen to where like you aren't able to see their stuff anymore and you're not able to root them on from the sidelines. Like I definitely have had a lot of friends that like if we grew apart, like I still root for them on the sidelines because I genuinely love and care about them. I just don't feel connected to them in a certain way anymore. Um, so that's just something to keep in mind. So make sure that like whatever friends that you do end up finding, make sure that they fit your life. And if they don't, figure out how they can fit your life in a different fashion. Because not everyone's going to fit your life to a T and be like your best friend, you know? um I feel like for me, like at this moment in my life, like my friends are my Connecticut friends and I have Larissa here, but like everyone else I just feel so disconnected, and I think that's why I feel I'm on the cusp of change, because I feel so disconnected from other people and from reality because I've been struggling and I've been in my own world and I've been trying to figure out where life takes me next. Which is why I say I'm on the cusp of change, not that I've completely changed. But I definitely feel like I've gone through some of those awakening feelings that I've been ready for a change. Okay, before I continue on, I tried this juice from Hugo um, in the episode that or in the recording that I deleted. It is a cold pressed juice with watermelon, pineapple, apple, lemon, lime, and beet, and it's called LFG. And this is in San Antonio. And I just have to say, I tried it and I didn't even make a face, which is how I knew I liked it. But it was honestly so good. We had restaurant week a couple week last week and the week before, and this was like a part of the deal is you got two juices, a smoothie, and an acai bowl. And I'm loving this place, genuinely. Granted, it's 42 carbs for this cold pressed juice, but I dosed for it. So I'm trying to enjoy it. I made no face. Like, I genuinely, like, it does taste a little bit weird because it's a cold pressed juice, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just not a huge juice drinker. Like, I literally drink water and tea. It's weird in that aspect, but it tastes really good, and I'm actually happy with this. So, other signs that you're ready for a change is that your living space feels dull. So, I find this interesting because when my job and I separated and I actually got rid of the futon in my place, I was feeling like I wanted to rearrange my entire place, but I also felt like I didn't even want to be there anymore. Like it felt so dull. I found no happy moments. I wanted to change so much. I wanted to get rid of so much. I wanted to do a spring cleaning in literally the middle of winter. Even my own living space felt suffocating. It felt dull. It felt boring. I didn't want to be there. Every other place felt more exciting than my own living space. And like I literally pay for rent. Why is it feel so miserable? I should be enjoying the space that I live in. And the fact that I wasn't was a huge indicator of like, maybe I do need a change in my life. I know y'all know this one, but if you're ready for a change, you are probably living in either the past or the future. You're thinking about, oh, this time of my life was so great. I wish I could go back to this time. Or you're thinking, this is going to happen in the future. That's going to happen in the future. You're not focused on the present. You're not enjoying the present moment. And that has been one of the biggest lessons for me is living in the present moment. And honestly, this is going to sound so weird. I like podcasting because I can reflect and I feel like I get out my emotions. I get out like any sort of like thing in my brain. I'm like untwisting all of the twists and turns, so to speak, or untangling all the knots in my brain. But the reason I like vlogging is because I'm living in the moment and appreciating the moment. There's this one snippet when I was in Las Vegas of the sky, and I was literally looking at the sky and enjoying it. Like I was living in the present moment, and it felt so great. And I feel like a huge part of me either lives in the past or lives in the future, and I don't live enough in the present. And that's a huge lesson for me that I'm still to this day working on. Like, I feel like we all struggle with living in the present moment. I also journal. That's something that I've tried new this year that I've really been liking. So it's called the 5 minute journal, and you have a couple of prompts in the morning and a couple of prompts at night, and you just answer the questions and you live in the present moment when you're answering these questions. You're really thinking, reaching into the depths of your mind. Every day on the top, there's a quote or a weekly challenge. So I find it really, really cool. That's something I enjoy doing. That kind of keeps me in the day to day. It's something that definitely has kept me on track and kept me like going in the present moment and like feeling like, what am I grateful for today? What are the highlights of my day? Keeping focused on the positives, any lessons that I've learned, things that I could learn for the next day or learn for my future self. I feel like I'm able to reflect, but also live in the present moment and manifest a good future, but still staying present in the moment. I just feel like there's a lot that we could be doing to live in the present moment, and that journal just has helped me in more ways than one. And also, again, vlogging has helped me because I'm actually like sharing the moment with you guys, and then I also get to look back at it, which is kind of cool because like my memory is absolute butt, like awful. So it's nice because like I get to like relive the moment, and if I missed a feeling, like I get to feel it again and like reflect on like the silly little things that have happened. But when I'm vlogging in that moment, like I'm in the moment and I'm having a good time. Another sign you're ready for a change is that something is feeling off or something is feeling wrong and you want to leave it or break off from it. This could be a person or a thing, a job, whatever it is, something just feels off. It feels wrong. It feels out of place, whatever it may be. It could be where you're living. It could be your significant other. It could be a friend. It could be a job. It could be literally anything. Just something feels off, right? And you just need to get away from it. And for me, a huge part of that was the job that I was working. It felt wrong. I felt miserable. I didn't feel happy. And because I had trouble severing the tie and leaving the job, it made me more miserable because I knew I needed the money. But when I finally didn't have that job anymore, I was like, wow, like I feel so much better. Like, yes, I feel shitty because I don't have an income, but like I feel so much happier. I'm able to do this, I'm able to do that. And I was starting to look forward to things, and I was actually starting to feel happy about the future, which doesn't happen when you are amidst of a change. Another sign you're ready for a change is having the intuition to move on. This kind of goes hand in hand with feeling something is wrong and wanting to leave or like break off whatever that wrong thing is, because you have the intuition for something better. You have the intuition to move on, to let go of something, to let go of someone, to let go of the past, whatever the case may be. You are looking forward at this point and you have the intuition to move on, move forward. Don't look in the past. Don't keep reminiscing about something. You just want to move forward. You're ready for that change. That's a huge sign. Another sign you're ready for a change, which actually happened to me, is self-isolation, whether it be physical or mental. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So after this whole job thing happened, I distanced myself from pretty much everybody. Um, I told a couple of people what happened, but I didn't tell everybody. I deleted my location off of location services for a bunch of people. Um, I turned off my Snap maps. I just stopped sharing my location, stopped like posting as much. Like I literally spent a period of time self-isolating. The only person that didn't allow me to self-isolate was my girlfriend. She literally like came over. It's funny because the day that like my job and I separated, she was actually on her way back from Colorado, and she literally like came over to like make sure I was okay, to like make sure I wasn't self-isolating. I was dog sitting at the time. So like she was really just like, "Hey, like are you okay? Like I know this sucks." Like she was really making sure that I wasn't isolating, even though like I was isolating from everyone but her. But the reality is that I've been struggling and I just needed a break from everyone and everything. So if you start self isolating, that's like your moment of like you're isolating and you're getting ready for that new thing. Because once I was done self isolating is when I really jumped out of my shell and started like working on things. Like, granted, I was still kind of isolating, but I was like vlogging. Um, I was getting my crystal website ready. I was like taking stuff down. Like, I had so much motivation to do other things while I was isolating because I had so many ideas in my head just like revolving around. Um, so I just feel like that moment of isolation really changes you in an aspect of like you're like doing a complete like 180, and like it's kind of just like almost bubbling. You know what I mean? Like as if you're cooking pasta and like that water is boiling and getting ready for that pasta. Like that's like the level that I feel like the self isolation is like you're getting ready for the cusp of something better. Some of the last signs that you're ready for a change is craving new energy, wanting to be motivated, and wanting to feel refreshed. So again, it's kind of like that boiling moment of you're craving that pasta. You're craving something new to be dropped down on you. You're craving some new energy. You don't just want to be boiling water, right? You want, like, you have the salt and you want the pasta to come in. Like, I don't know, crazy kind of comparison, but it's just what my mind went to. So we're rolling with it. But you're craving that new energy. You're like wanting to be motivated. Like you want to be motivated for something more and you want to feel refreshed. So, for a real life example, I self isolated in a period of time. And then when I was like kind of over the self pity portion of it all, I wanted to be motivated. I was ready to vlog. I was ready to podcast. I was ready to go. I had all these ideas in my head. I just wanted to be motivated to do them. And I was like sleeping a lot, sleeping in because I no longer had like a time that I needed to wake up. So like I was feeling a lot more refreshed, right? So I was craving this new energy while stepping into it. So like I was feeling very refreshed by like not working my butt off at this like 9 to 5 job that was like so miserable and made me just want to like literally, not to be dramatic, but like that job just made me feel so miserable every single day. And every time I would sign off of work, I would be so grateful. Not only that, but like I genuinely like could not handle anything after work. Like I couldn't clean, I couldn't cook, I wanted to do nothing. Like, I was so miserable with working that, like, I had no energy for anything else. Like, my energy was completely depleted. So, with that being said, when I no longer worked at that job, I actually started feeling refreshed because my energy wasn't being drained. I wasn't going to a job that made me feel miserable. I wasn't constantly doing the same motions over and over again of this repetitiveness. It genuinely felt so great. So I just feel like all of these signs combined, I realized I was ready for a change. And even though I didn't enact the change at first, I accepted the change as it came. And I can fully say I feel so much better. Like, the month of January, for example. So, right, I obviously, like all y'all know, like, I haven't been working. I've been vlogging and podcasting, amongst other things, but let's stick to the content creation portion of it, if you will, just for the sheer fact of this episode. So, obviously, like, we went to New Orleans. I had so much fun. I tried a bunch of new food. My girlfriend and I then went to Vegas and we explored Vegas and the Strip. She has been to both places. I've never been to either of these places. So it was my first time going with her. I had an incredible time, an incredible journey. And I can actually, like, tell my story and, like, say how much fun I had, just, like, reminding myself that, like, life doesn't always need to be miserable, and that, like, I can live in the moment and have fun. Like, it's okay. Um, and then the trip to Austin, like, that we went to last week, and trying restaurant week, we went to a bunch of different restaurants. It was genuinely nice to be in the moment. And I feel like 2024 is going to be so different for me. Like, I truly feel like I am on the verge of, like, something amazing. And, like, I truly cannot wait for me to continue podcasting, vlogging, sharing with you guys. Like, I genuinely am in such a different place in my life at the end of January than I was at the beginning of December. And it's only been a span of these 2 months. I've been sick. I've been traveling. I've been miserable. I've been happy. I've gone through a whirlwind of emotions to end up here today to say that, like, February 1st is around the corner and I am so ready to start 2024. It feels so good. And not to be a cliche, because I don't want to do this for 2025, but, like, even when I first got hired for this job that I'm starting, I told myself I was going to start 2024 on February 1st, and that January was going to be like a trial period, um because I knew that I wasn't going to be working, so I knew that life was going to look very different. But as soon as I get my schedule, come, I think March, I'll have a better idea of, like, when I'm working. Because HR is gonna do like 8 to 4:30, and I'm gonna be working from home, so I'm really excited for that. Being able to work from home and, like, do my own thing, not have to travel, and be able to, like, as soon as I'm done with work, like, I can, like, record a podcast or edit a vlog. Like, I don't have to, like, travel San Antonio traffic, which is, like, god awful apparently. But, like, that's just, like, what's in my mind. Like, I have so much to look forward to, and I actually am excited. And I can finally say that, like, I have been ready for a change, and I'm literally on the cusp of it. I am actively changing as we speak. Like, I just feel so, like, content with life, and I am so excited for what 2024 has to offer me, because I know that this year I'm going to kick butt. I have rested, I have relaxed, I have slept, I have literally allowed myself all that I've needed to pick myself back up and dust myself off and kick butt. Like, that is where I'm at. So I'm just really thankful for the opportunity that I had all of January and all of December for what I needed to like get through this change and like come into like a little butterfly basically. But not to be cliche, but that's kind of what it feels like. So it just feels really good. But with all of that being said, I hope you guys take into account what I've said today. And if you feel like you are looking for a change, message me. If you're really having trouble with, like, maybe I do need to change, but I don't know what, or I'm feeling this way, like, I'm always available. Literally, you can message my personal account, my podcast account. I don't care. I would say, I don't know if you can message people on YouTube. I would not prefer that. If you have access to Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, like message me on there. I will respond. I respond to everybody. Like literally, I've gotten messages from like non-followers, um, either about a podcast episode or mostly TikToks that I've posted, but like even podcast episodes, like somebody will like reach out to me about a podcast episode or a TikTok or something that I posted on social media that like made them feel like the need to like chat me up, or the need to respond, or sometimes like they just wanted to connect or share their story, and like it means so much to me to be able to connect with you guys. So like I'm always open to that, and I just wanted to let y'all know, like I truly do love being able to connect with y'all and being able to like hear your guys' stories and like share my own, because like there's something about life and human connection that just makes us feel good when we feel like we're connected to others. So that's all I have to say with that. It means so much to me that you guys listened to these episodes, that you guys connect with me. I love hearing your guys' feedback. So please don't feel shy. Like, go ahead and rate my podcast, give me feedback, either comment or send me like a private message, like whatever you guys want to do. I'm open to listening to you guys, and I want to know what you guys want to hear. If you guys ever have like, hey, I really want to talk about this, or I have this question, like I would probably like either do it as like a bonus episode or like completely change the episode, depending on like if I think the episode is boring, like, or like doesn't involve you guys enough. Like I would completely be open to listening to you guys and completely open it to doing content that you guys want to listen to. So please, please, please feel free to like, share, comment, follow me or subscribe if you haven't already. Like I am here every week. This podcast is posted every Wednesday. I post a vlog every Sunday. So please, 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 I love to hear your guys' feedback. It means so much to me. And I thank you guys so much for listening, and just be your guys' self. Like, be a rock star. Like, I love you guys so much, so much. And I will see you guys on the next episode.